Okay, we're going up the tower. Right, sweet. I don't know, actually. Yeah, but I think there'll be more.
So here we are. We're going to take a second to appreciate the beautiful dome here at the museum.
Pretty big.
The rotunda, we call it. So our building was built in 1915. Who knows what was here before the Europeans came to California?
The Spanish?
Spanish, definitely. Even before them?
The Mexicans?
Before the Mexicans?
Native Californians?
Yes! The native Californians. So here we have an exhibit to the native Californians, the Kumeyaay, Luiseno people. They are incredible. 10,000 years of history, at least here in Southern California. So on the way back down, you guys can check these guys out. We opened in 1915. I bring you here to show you the beautiful set of windows at the very top of our dome.
Oh yeah, there's
a secret staircase just for the window washer. The architect Bertram Goodhue created it just so we could get to those windows back in 1915. So we'll see that from up there. It's not for the faint of heart. It's really cool. And I never noticed it. I've been coming here my whole life. Didn't notice it until I went up there for the first time. We also make this stop because every now and then kids get up there, they look at the beautiful dome and they say, what's underneath the dome? So this is to avoid that question. Just to make sure everybody knows that the museum is underneath the dome. So nobody asks. So all right, come on everybody, real quick.
What's underneath the other dome? There's another dome.
These sets of stairs are kind of steep, so take your time. Be sure to thank Katie for unlocking the gate for us. Thank you, Katie. Much appreciated. These are the steep stairs, so take your time, everybody. We're entering the layer of the Carillon. Please. Thank you, Katie. You're welcome. All right, everybody, come on up the staircase. Take a glance through the window and appreciate the beautiful machine on the left.
Why are there
It's not the best view, but I promise it gets better on the way out.
Oh, there's a piano thing.
Yes, it's an electric Carillon.
What's oh?
Seattle Underground.
Well, except it's above ground. You hear the music from here.
The soul of the tower. It's where I like to get to know you folks a little bit more. Where are you from? Seattle. Seattle, welcome. Where are you from? China. South Africa. I never know. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Seattle.
Seattle, welcome. El Centro. Florida. El Centro. El Centro, welcome. You, sir. Seattle, nice mix of people.
Seattle.
Also, Seattle, welcome. As I mentioned, I've been coming here my whole life. My grandparents came here, my parents came here. I always thought there were bells in this tower. Did you folks hear the bells today?
Yeah.
I always thought there were bells. There's not a single bell in this whole building. Every single one of these boxes behind the Carillon contain a series of chimes. If you look at this one in particular, it has a plastic piece so you can see straight through to the chimes. So there's over 100. And at the fifth, so who remembers what year we opened?
1915.
1915, exactly. This machine wasn't installed until 1946. A gentleman named Frank Lowe donated this. Who knows what was going on in the world in 1946? End of World War II. So a gentleman named Frank Lowe, Dr. Frank Lowe, donated this to the museum to commemorate the end of that terrible war. Also, he named it after his mother, who we love very much. So this is known as the Oname Lowe Carillon. So it's been chiming at the 15s of every hour throughout the day since. You'll hear the basic Westminster chime in about a minute or so. It goes bum, 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 bum. Oh, sorry, that was my first one of the day. Bum, 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 bum. Something like that. At noontime every day, though, we have a noontime concert. And we're going to get into that in a second. But this lady with her picture on top of the Carillon, that's Gina Seashore. She comes in multiple times a month, sits down at the Carillon, stores up to 300 songs in these ancient iPod shuffles. Believe it or not, that's pretty impressive since they're from the 1960s. So out of these songs, 25 are selected each month and 3 are selected at random every day at noon for our noontime concert. So love songs during February, Christmas songs during Christmas time. She likes to mix it up. And if you guys like, on the way back down, we have a request box over here. You can actually leave your favorite song, leave your email, and if Gina selects it in future months, you can request it. Oh, all right, come on, everybody, check it out. It's gonna be chiming any moment now.
Wow. Yeah.
Super quiet. So it's crazy quiet in here, but the amplification sound amplifies it over 1 million times, so you can hear it for over a mile in every direction. So yeah, on the way back down, if you would like to leave a request, we have a request box. If not, no big deal. Follow me into the hallway, I have a terrible joke. All right, would you like to be my assistant? Yes. All right, stand next to the light switch, please, sir. And when I point to you, please hit the switch. Everybody crowd around the doorway, please, so we can see the staircase, the magic staircase behind me. All right, so get ready. Does everyone know what the greatest nation on earth is? It's a trick question. It's a donation. So it took, I mentioned, our building was closed from the 1930s up until recently, so it took a lot of donations to open it back up again. Every single one of these stairs represents a really big donation to our museum. So thank you to all these people for helping us get up the tower for the first time since the 30s. Also, this door over my right shoulder was the exit for the window washer. Remember I told you the window washer had a secret staircase? Wasn't easy? This was it. And this is the exit to get to those staircases. And we'll see how, it doesn't look scary from here, but wait till we see it up there. All right, follow me. Somebody's playing the saxophone. That's great. The views are getting a little bit better. We have a side-by-side picture of what it looked like 102 years ago.
So it looked almost exactly like this. Wow. It's actually pretty cool. Oh yeah, it looks the same.
So who knows why we created this part of the park? Anybody?
The exhibit.
Yes, the exposition, exactly. So we wanted a World's Fair. We bid for the World's Fair. We were the smallest city in history to ever bid for a World's Fair. We were only 39,000 in the early 1900s. No city smaller had ever even thought about it. San Francisco saw us bidding for the fair. They're like, look at this little city. Give me a break. They were 10 times larger. They stole our idea. They decided to bid for it. And guess who won the bid for the World's Fair? San Francisco. They were given all the money, everything necessary, congressional support. We were told better luck next time. San Diegans didn't wait for next time. They raised $6 million in donations, state bonds, and they created the Panama, California Exposition. So that's what made this beautiful portion of the park. It was never meant to be permanent, but people came and they fell in love with it so much, they decided to keep it. So look at all these buildings. If you look closely, they're propped up by particle board, chicken wire. They're barely there. They're facades, because they were meant to be temporary. The only permanent structures were the beautiful botanical garden, our building, the Museum of Man. Anybody see the organ pavilion, the Spreckles Organ Pavilion today? Up the Prado to the right of the Japanese Friendship Garden. It is the largest outdoor pipe organ pavilion in the world. We beat out Vienna last year by 1 pipe. So unless they added 2 pipes last week, we're still #1. Another one of the beautiful structures we're going to see at the top of this staircase is the Cabrillo Bridge, and that was the main entrance for the Panama, California Exposition. We'll see it right out this window with a nice breeze.
Oh, that's the bridge.
Oh.
We just drove right over that. Without thinking about it. Yeah, we drove over that.
Yeah.
It's getting better. It's getting better. All right, so here we have a picture from 1915 also. I mentioned this was the main entrance to the park, the Cabrillo Bridge. And it was also meant to be like a main entrance to the city, to California, to the United States. If beautiful high arching bridges, reminiscent of like the Roman aqueducts, the grand entrance, right? So when you came in 1915, they charged you 25 cents for kids, 50 cents for adults, and if you wanted to take pictures, they charged you an additional 25 cents. So even back then, they were trying to get you for every last cent. Sorry about that. Nothing changed. Who knows what's going on underneath the bridge today? It's the 163 freeway. Back then in 1915, we had a bunch of water. So much, in fact, that they wanted to do gondola rides. They wanted to sail boats instead of creating the freeway. Wouldn't that be cool? Instead of the freeway, we'd have gondola rides into downtown. Maybe take your sweetheart to Little Italy for dinner. It could be beautiful, right? This is what it really looked like. It was probably about 6 inches of water. It was a glorified mosquito pond, and we couldn't get it filled. It would have taken millions of gallons to fill this thing up. Millions of gallons. And we don't got a lot of water here. So what we did was we hired an artist to create this advertisement. They sent it out all over the world. Now they didn't say that it looked like this. They just put this with the advertisements for the Panama, California Exposition. Come to the Panama, California Exposition. It'll be beautiful. People showed up and they saw this. And they were a little disappointed. But thankfully, the weather was beautiful. The architecture was unlike anything they had ever seen at a World's Fair or an expo. And it was still a success, even though there were no gondolas. San Francisco's World's Fair only lasted for 8 months. Our Panama, California Exposition lasted for 2 years and attracted 4 million visitors. It was a huge success. The opening night concert alone, there were 40,000 people there, and there was only 39,000 people living in the city. Amazing, right? So more people at the opening night concert than live in the city. And today, our population is much greater than San Francisco. So, we win. Follow that.
It's like the gondola thing was like old clickbait before the internet existed.
Beautiful views of the trees out the windows. Some of my favorite stuff in the park. Beautiful trees.
Oh, that's very high.
Here we have a picture. This is actually a panorama from 1914, 6 months before we opened. So if you check outside the windows, there's great views of the trees. And this picture shows you how few trees there were back in 1914. So 6 months before we opened, the California Tower isn't even finished yet. They got it finished. It was finished in time for January 1915, but they're pushing it. This area right here is where the San Diego Zoo is today. Not a lot going on there back then. So we start to see the beginnings of trees popping up around the park. We owe the success and the beauty of the trees in the park. Have you guys noticed some of these amazing trees throughout the park? Some of my favorite things in the world. If you go down this bridge, right about here, there's a statue of a woman at the end of the Cabrillo Bridge. And it's a full-size statue. A lot of time kids think it's Mary Poppins because she's wearing a funny hat and she's wearing a dress, but it's actually Kate Sessions. And she is the mother of Balboa Park. She planted thousands of trees all over the park in preparation for the expo. And they weren't just any kinds of trees. They were trees from all over the world. She brought in all kinds of trees, specifically the purple jacaranda from South America. It blossoms multiple times a year. It blossoms once a year, beautiful purple blossoms. Also, some of the first 300 palm trees in Southern California, Kate brought from Mexico. Amazing woman. She's one of the first to graduate from the University of California, Berkeley, and the first to win a national award in genetics given by the American Genetics Association. There's multiple monuments to her in the park. There's an elementary school and a park named after her here in San Diego County, but it's not nearly enough. When you guys are walking around and you see these beautiful trees, say a little thank you to Kate Sessions in your head, because the city, the park, and Southern California wouldn't be as beautiful if it wasn't for her efforts in the early 1900s. She's an incredible woman. Here we have a map of the park. If you would have came and paid your 50 cents or 25 cents, you would have gotten one of these. There was a Marine Corps base, tons of different exhibits, food products, botany,